Okay. We want to begin by getting comfortable in our seats. Allow for this opportunity to just present itself where you can just tell yourself, hey, I just want to kind of be here right now, be ready for whatever comes in meditation. Like if anything comes to mind, uh, take a breath and try to just breathe in deeply and then exhale and let it go. This is just a way to start our meditation practice. Another thing we can do is if for some reason there's a really dominant thought or our mind just keeps wandering somewhere, like especially if we have a lot to do today, right? That could happen. You can take your wrist and just flick it. You just flick it away. Sometimes that physical flick will help you. We're going to start by sitting up in our seats, bringing the breath into the lowest part of the belly body. And on the exhale, just gently noticing that the breath is leaving. I want you to try to pay more attention to the body, rising and falling. So take the hands and place them on the belly. And just for a moment, feel this connection from your hands and into your stomach. Now, as the belly rises and falls, you can look down to the belly and just watch the belly lift the fingertips up and down. Let me see if I can do this just so you can see me. Okay. Belly lift and fall. And if you're watching that, start to notice the rhythm. Maybe count the breath. Notice what happens when you breathe in deeply, maybe to the count of 2 or 3. There we go. And when you exhale, let all the stale air leave the body. That means the navel touches the spine and you can feel the hands cave inward. And I know that this seems simple, but this simple distraction, so to speak, or the simple focus will help you from distractions. And if you're comfortable, you can actually close the eyes and see if you can just maintain the sense of awareness. Noticing the rise and the fall of the belly and what that feels like to your physical belly. When you're ready to, you can take it to the next step and just bring your hands to your side or to your legs, placing them in a comfortable position, but maintaining this awareness of the belly. Yes, you're breathing, but you notice that the breath has an impact on the rest of the body. And for the next 5 breath cycles, see if you can fully commit to just feeling the rise and the fall of the belly as you breathe in and out. If there's any space of silence that you're able to embrace, see if you can bring your awareness to that space of silence. Noticing what that might look like for you, if it's in your mind or if it's in your surrounding area. Maybe you just happen to notice a moment where things just stop and rest. And if you don't happen to have that place, continue to just stay anchored to the sense of the rise and the fall of the belly, knowing that in between each breath, there's always a pause. There's always a moment of silence between each inhale and exhale. We're going to come to our toes. So maybe in your mind's eye, start to trace a path from the belly down the thighs, past the knees, through the foreleg, tracing around the ankle, going above and below the feet, all the way to the toes. And just imagine that the air is tickling your toes for a moment. Allow your breath to come down just like the wind would flow and just touch the tips of the toes. And on the exhale, allowing for that to retreat and come into the space of silence, this place of not so much empty, but just in this natural cycle of a pause. And for the next 5 breath cycles, allow for the tips of your toes to embrace this breath, and being very detailed about the path that the breath travels to get to the toes. And then embracing this pause, the sense of silence in between the breath as the air exits the body. 5 breath cycles. And allow for it to be as gentle as possible. No forcing, no tension, no urgency. Just embracing the flow, the natural alignment of breath, the gentleness of the touch of air. Next, we're going to scan the body. But before we go into scanning our body, we want to go in and set an intention to notice something that sticks out for us in each part of the body that we can compliment ourselves on. Make a positive self affirmation. And before we do that, we want to get a sense of what a compliment feels like to both give and receive. As we inhale, allow the breath to complement the way it connects to our body, to accentuate such things as the belly that rises, accentuate the organs that receive the oxygen and air for health and nutrition. And then on the exhale, we give this back. The air that releases out of our body then complements the earth, the plants, others with life and love. Notice what it is to give and receive a compliment in this way. Take about 5 breath cycles to just embrace this type of compliment to your body with the breath and the breath with the world, giving and receiving in a gentle way. Allow for your guard to go down just a little bit more in this space, seeing if you can take out any tension in the body by giving yourself permission to relax a little bit more, knowing that you're safe. The next kind of compliment that we will provide is one of the ones that many people struggle with, and that is the affirmation, that positive sense of self, that ability to give and receive for our accomplishments, for our life, for our body. Our next inhale in, we're going to allow for our awareness to come down to our feet using our breath. And this time, let the compliment be something of a true compliment. It could be something as simple as, I like my feet today. My feet are beautiful. My toenails are done. There's no pain in my feet, or my feet help me to walk. Something. It could be quirky, it could be anything. But just see if you can truly bring something to your feet body that you can pay a compliment to and receive a compliment from. Something in that manner of respect. Notice what the compliment feels like when you receive it. Notice what it's like when you give it. If it changes in shape or quality and on any way. See if there are feelings that are associated with it. They can be all kinds of feelings that manifest that are secondary to the actual compliment itself. And breathe in deep, and then exhale out. Allow that compliment to then, that sense of that compliment to then be given to the world as you release it from your body. Release the positivity associated with it, the energy, the emotions, whether difficult or easy. And we're going to take this sense from our feet and we're going to start to scan the body all the way up to the crown of the head, providing a complement in each part of the body. The scan is going to be a self scan. So you can go from the feet to the crown of the head at any pace that you like. Do your best to be honest with yourself and pay yourself a compliment in as many places as possible. And then release that compliment out with the exhale. Release all that's associated with it into the world, into your safe space. And know that this is a process. So take your time and be gentle with each breath. And you can begin now and take about the next 20 breath cycles, 20 to 30 breath cycles to reach the crown of your head. And if your mind happens to wander, gently bring it back in a kind way, a friendly way that would compliment you for realizing that your mind wandered. Knowing that this too is part of the practice of making us more stronger in our minds. Breathe in and out, and you can begin now. As we continue to breathe in and out, we want to be able to notice that when we receive compliments, which are our affirmations, so complimenting ourselves can be affirmations, so to speak, that we're able to give that back out to the world. But we have to fill ourselves up first. Allow for the breath and the air to fill you from the crown of the head down to the feet and every part of the body that you touched with those beautiful affirmations, compliments. And even if you struggled, knowing that you were able to accept that, and that in itself is a compliment. You're able to be aware of how you feel in the moment, and that is a compliment to the body that you acknowledge and are aware. And it's a form of self-love. And on your next exhale that you become mindful of, release that out the body, knowing that you can give to the world those same things and those same qualities that you notice in yourself. The more that you're able to give yourself and receive compliments, the more you can give the world, the more you can acknowledge that in the people around you. Continue to breathe in and out as we get ready to close up class. Remain mindful of your full body. And maybe even take this as an opportunity to set an intention for the rest of your day, to just allow one of these compliments to be with you. Just one. And see if you can hold that in your heart and truly affirm that within. And just notice what that does to the rest of your day, what that does to the people you may see, or what you may acknowledge. When you're ready, you can begin to open the eyes. Allow for the breath to be fluid in the body as you reset, hopefully with your intention for the rest of today. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day, and namaste. Thank you.
So much. Have a good day.